Hello, my name is Erick Palafox, and I am a geologist. To be more specific, I am a geochronologist. Geochronology is the science of determining the age of rocks, fossils, and sediments in the geologic record by using properties of rock themselves. As a first-generation Latinx high school graduate, I enrolled at San Jose Junior College with the intention of transferring to a four-year university. At first, I wasn't sure what field I wanted to pursue. I always was interested in the sciences, especially the earth sciences. At SRJC, I took all of the geology and astronomy classes that they offered at the time. And a couple of years after, I was able to transfer to UC Berkeley, where I obtained first a bachelor's and later on a master's in geology. While at Berkeley, I was advised by geologist Walter Alvarez, who is famous for hypothesizing the demise of the non-avian dinosaurs due to an asteroid impact in the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago. Also, under Professor Alvarez's guidance, we published a paper about the history and geology of gold deposits that made the Iberian Peninsula rich throughout its history. That is, gold deposits that came from Iberia itself, from West Africa, and also from the Americas. After this, my research shifted towards geochronology, which again, it's the science of dating rocks to know the ages. For my honors senior thesis and also master's work, I dated rocks from Italy, and I determined where the source of the sediments that formed those rocks came from. And with that information, I was able to pinpoint the direction of ancient wind currents over the Mediterranean Sea, and also get a sense of climate change over the area over thousands of years. And all that information just by dating rocks. Currently, I am a PhD student at the University of California, Davis. My research focuses on obtaining accurate ages of rocks that formed during the late Paleozoic Ice Age. This ice age occurred 340 to 290 million years ago. And the goal here is that by obtaining high precision ages of those rocks, we're able to examine patterns in the paleoclimate and when those paleoclimatic events actually happen. And with this, we can also start getting a sense of climate change in this time period. Also, the late Paleozoic was a time when the Earth was ruled by giant insects and also giant amphibians, and also the first reptiles and mammals began to evolve, which eventually led to the emergence of dinosaurs, of birds, modern mammals, and us humans. This time is also when the supercontinent of Pangaea formed, and like the name suggests, the late Paleozoic Ice Age. This time was famous for an ice age that lasted millions of years. And I am attracted to this time of Earth's history for this reason, but also because it's the first time that our planet transitioned from being cold to being hot. And also, really importantly, it's a time when this transition happened when complex land and aquatic ecosystems were established. So by studying this time period, we can examine how the environment and life at that time adapted or not to rising carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. And putting all of that together to the present day, that is something that we need to, this is something that we need to pay attention to, because currently, due to man-made injection of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, we're contributing to the rapid increase of global warming. On a typical day, I read papers related to my research, or I go into the lab to analyze rocks that I've collected during fieldwork. And depending on your specific research questions, most geologists will actually go into the field to collect their own samples. And from my own experience, my research, my undergraduate and master's studies, they have taken me to explore and visit places such as Death Valley, the Grand Canyon, Hawaii, and also some states in the Midwest of the US. And if you like to travel and be outside, if you like to hike and camp, then being a geologist or an earth scientist might actually be a good match for you. Also in the US, there are two major earth science conferences that take place each year. And as a student or as an employee in the earth sciences, you're actually encouraged to attend those conferences. And most programs pay for the registration and any other fees that you might have, especially if you're given an oral presentation or you have a poster where people can walk to your poster and then, they can ask questions about your poster and your research. And so before COVID, I was able to actually attend conferences in places like Denver, Seattle, Indianapolis, Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. The short answer is yes. The long answer depends on what degree you have. So if you have a bachelor's, you can work in the private sector, you can work as a contractor and consultant. You can also work with construction companies. Most of them they want geologists to analyze the soil and the rocks that are under the places that they're building on. If you have a master's or a PhD, you can always go into academia, so become a professor at a community college level or a four-year university, research university. You can also go into the industry, and usually having a master's or a PhD that makes you attractive to the big oil and gas and mining companies. So in our field we call that going dark side. For a bachelor's degree in the US, and more specifically in California, I'll recommend almost any geology program at any of the universities in the UC system. I believe that all the programs have a strong and fundamental earth science curriculum, and they also have really good requirements to graduate. For graduate studies, so master's or PhD, it helps to know what kind of research you want to do. And the reason why is because not all university programs at the graduate level are the same. So some of them might focus on doing geoscience, like geoscience or seismology, for example, while others do more like marine science or atmospheric science. So it's important that you actually do some research on the places you want to apply before you actually apply. I want to conclude by saying that it's okay not knowing right away what you want to do as a career or what you want to study in school. And it took me so many years to figure out that I was actually passionate about geology, about earth science. It took me many years to transfer from community college to UC Berkeley. It took me years to actually to complete my bachelor's and my master's. And now I'm doing a PhD in geology. And it's obviously going to take me also many years. But so don't worry about it. Don't worry that you might be too young or too old to start to pursue a career in geology or in earth science. It's okay to take your time and just do things right, and always stay positive and also stay curious. And hope you have a good day.